Are you getting ready to sell your Denver area home in 2026? Well, before you start repainting every wall, replacing perfectly good fixtures, or calling 3 contractors, take a breath. Because I see so many women over 50, especially those selling solo, doing way more than they need to do. And you deserve to save your time, your energy, and your budget. Today, we're breaking down the 7 home fixes you really need to complete before selling in 2026. The ones buyers and inspectors actually notice, so you can move with confidence and skip all that unnecessary stress. You know, I work with women all over Highlands Ranch, Littleton, Parker areas, and the pattern is always the same. Some repairs make a huge difference in how your home shows, and others, well, buyers don't care at all. So let's start with 7 fixes that give you the best return, the smoothest inspection, and the most peace of mind when you're selling in the Denver metro area in 2026. Did you know that lighting is the #1 fastest way to make your home feel fresh, warm, and show ready? Especially here in Colorado, where the sun sets at 4:40 p.m. in the winter. Many showings happen after dark, and the last thing you want is a buyer flicking a switch and nothing happens. Or worse, the fireplace turns on instead. So here's what you can do. Replace old yellow bulbs with warm LEDs. Upgrade a couple of dated fixtures. Nothing fancy, just clean and current. Clean dusty shades and glass domes. Make sure every switch actually turns on the light it's supposed to. Because a well-lit home feels welcoming. A dim home feels like you're touring a dungeon or a moody craft brewery. And unless you're selling kombucha on tap, buyers want bright and cheerful. When you have a showing on a winter afternoon, turn on everything. Lamps, overhead lights, hallway lights, porch lights, walkway lights. It helps the buyer see. It helps the realtor put in your lockbox code, and it makes your home feel alive. If you're still home right before the showing, put on some soft background music, something gentle, not opera and not Metallica. Think coffee shop at 9 a.m. You know, your kitchen and bathrooms don't need to look brand new. They just need to feel warm, fresh, and loved. Your buyer should walk in and think, somebody cared for this space. Focus on the feeling, not the finish. You could do this. Remove hard water stains. Colorado water's bossy. Lighten up the grout. Polish stainless steel. Replace tired caulk with clean lines. Keep counters simple, clean, and relaxing. With our hard water in Douglas, Arapahoe, and Jefferson counties, mineral buildup shows up fast. Removing it instantly makes kitchen and bathrooms feel brighter and fresher. And then put out a couple of soft, neutral dish towels or a fresh hand towel for showing. Nothing fancy, just clean and calming. Think spa, but make it doable. You're not aiming for model home vibes. You're aiming for the feeling that someone could walk in, drop their bags, and feel at ease. Kitchens and bathrooms are emotional rooms. They either say, welcome home, or run. Yours should say welcome. You know, windows make a huge difference in Colorado homes. Clean windows let in more natural light, which warms up your home, helps the photographer, and helps buyers feel good during the home tour. So clean the inside and the outside of your windows. Fix any torn or replace any worn-looking screens. It screams lack of care and opens the door to the buyer wondering, what else didn't you take care of? Make sure the windows open and close smoothly. Fix any windows that won't latch. If you notice fogging between the panes, which is kind of common up here at altitude, you don't always need a brand new window. Sometimes you can replace just the glass insert depending upon the brand and the age. If you're not sure, ask your realtor or window company. Make sure every window opens and closes properly. Inspectors here check that, and windows that don't function properly are called out every time. Hi, in case we haven't met, my name is Peggy Dursthoff, a Denver realtor specializing in helping women over 50 make smart, confident moves. You know, your furnace or hot water heat boiler is one of the biggest confidence builders for buyers, especially here in Colorado. You know, where heating systems kind of work overtime every winter. So make sure you're doing some of this. Schedule a service for your system. Replace any filters. Hopefully you've been doing that all along. Keep your receipts in a place where buyers can easily review them. In 2025, HVAC replacement costs in Denver metro area are higher than people expect, anywhere from $13,000 to $20,000 depending upon your setup. And with new refrigerant regulations and heat pump incentives kicking in, the rules about what can be repaired versus what can be replaced are changing. So yes, buyers are nervous more than ever, especially when they see a system that's a little bit older. If your furnace is older but still healthy, meaning it's serviced, functioning, and safe, you don't need to replace it before selling. A history of documented system services shows buyers it's been cared for. And if a buyer does ask about replacement, well, we can talk it through. Every situation is different, and there isn't a one-size-fits-all. And you might be wondering about home warranties. Now, home warranties used to smooth these issues out, but since 2020, some companies have gotten tougher, more loopholes, more exclusions. So I don't automatically recommend that as a first line of defense. It really depends on the company, your system's age, and the specifics of the deal. You don't need to panic or spend $20,000 before you list. A system service and honest documentation go a long way. And if furnace questions come up later, which they often do, we usually handle that strategically based on your situation, not on fear. All right, now let's talk safety. And I promise this won't sound like a lecture from the HOA. Here in Colorado, our soil has its own personality. It's called bentonite. It expands when it's wet, it contracts when it's dry, it freezes, it thaws. Basically, it does yoga under your concrete. And here's why that matters. Over time, that shifting soil can make walkways uneven, steps wobbly, patios tilt, just enough to feel like you're walking on the deck of a cruise ship with that little, whoa, let me steady myself moment where you're asked, has it always been like this? So do this. Check that you don't have any uneven concrete or walkway slabs. Tighten and replace loose stair railings. Secure any wobbly steps. Address any frayed carpet edges so no one catches their toe. All of these help avoid a trip or worse, a fall by somebody looking at your home. Make entry and exit ways safe and easy to navigate for all ages. Now here's the part most sellers don't think about. Drainage. All that soil movement means water management becomes a big deal in Colorado. After our famous snow melt or one of those surprise rainstorms, take 5 minutes and walk around your home. You want water moving away from the house, not setting up camp against it. So check to see, are your downspouts extended 4 to 6 feet away from the foundation? Are gutters actually draining where they should, or did you forget to clear them out after that last leaf fell in the fall? Are you seeing little ponds forming near the foundation, the kind where you think, wow, I didn't know I had waterfront property? Does the soil gently slope away from the house? Even just a little bit. We're not talking ski slope steep here. If you have ever tripped on something in your home, an inspector will spot it in seconds. And buyers notice these little details, not because they're picky, but because they read them as cues about how the entire home has been cared for. This isn't about perfection. It's about creating a safe, welcoming path from the car to your front door, and you want buyers focused on how charming your entryway is, not on whether or not they're going to survive it. And along with that safety, in Colorado, we take our fire safety very seriously, and so do home inspectors. But here's the good news. This is one of the easiest low-cost fixes you can do, and it gives buyers instant peace of mind. So here's what you do. Check all your smoke alarms and make sure they actually function, right? And please don't be that person that took that one down at 2 a.m. because it was beeping and quietly slid it into a drawer for the last 3 years. Yet that beep was just a request for a new battery, not for early retirement. And also replace any outdated or expired carbon monoxide detectors. Most carbon monoxide detectors only last 8 to 10 years. After that, the sensors weaken and the inspectors pounce on those, especially with Colorado's heavy use of gas furnaces and gas appliances. So make sure each floor has both the smoke alarm and the CO2 detector, especially if your home has a gas furnace, a gas water heater, a gas fireplace, or a gas stove. And you know, if you're in the Denver metro area, odds are you've got at least one of those. Now, also check this. Check your furnace, closet, or utility room for proper clearance. Make sure nothing is leaning on, touching, or cozying up to the furnace. No brooms, Costco-sized paper towel packs, paint cans, holiday decor bins, or that mystery box you swore you'd deal with someday. A furnace closet is not a storage unit. It needs breathing room, and inspectors can spot clutter there faster than you can say inspection objection. And since you're already going through the home doing a quick safety sweep, here's one more tiny task that makes a big impact. Clean out your dryer vent. It's quick, it's easy, and it removes a common fire hazard. Buyers and inspectors love seeing this handled. It signals pride of ownership with almost no effort. With our dry climate, our love of gas heat, and higher altitude, carbon monoxide and fire safety aren't optional, they're essential. Replacing detectors and cleaning vents costs less than lunch at Panera, and it removes a surprising amount of worry from the buyers. These little updates tell buyers, especially women buying solo or single parents and families, that your home is safe. It tells them you took care of things, that you're passing the home forward responsibly. Buyers can relax when they feel safe. They picture their people in the space. They trust the home and they trust you. Safety isn't glamorous, but it's one of the most meaningful ways to help a buyer instantly feel at ease in your home. Now, in the Denver metro area, especially in older neighborhoods, plumbing and sewer issues can sneak up on you. Nothing makes a buyer more nervous than signs of leaks, slow drains. So a quick plumbing check before listing, boy, that can go a long way. So here's what you can do. Check under every sink for leaks. Open the cabinets. Make sure everything is dry and clean. If you see staining, swelling, or moisture, get that fixed now. Inspectors always check these areas. Run every faucet, every shower, flush every toilet. You're looking for slow drains, weak pressure, gurgling, running toilets, wobbly or rocking toilets. Inspectors will definitely catch these. These are small, inexpensive fixes that signal good maintenance. Oh, and add this one too. This is especially important after that spring rain we had in Colorado that caught a lot of homeowners off guard. If you have a sump pump, pour a bucket of water into the pit and make sure that it turns on. Make sure the discharge line is clear and draining properly. Confirm also that the pump is plugged in. You'd be amazed at how often it gets unplugged. If the pump hasn't been run in a while, consider having a quick service done. A working sump pump gives buyers huge peace of mind, especially in homes with finished basements. And while we're talking about managing water around your home, it's also worth a quick look at what's happening under your home, because plumbing confidence isn't just about toilets and sinks. In the Denver metro area, the sewer line plays a big role in buyer peace of mind. With our clay-heavy soils, big temperature swings, and mature trees, Denver has a higher rate of sewer line issues than many parts of the country. Tree roots love older sewer lines, and slow drains can be an early sign. So if you've had your sewer line scoped in the last, say, 5 to 7 years, mention it. Buyers love transparency, and it signals responsible home ownership. If you haven't had a recent scope, you don't need to get one before listing, but be prepared. Buyers will order one. And this is where having a strong strategy and a seasoned realtor matters. A few quick checks, tightening that P-trap, fixing a slow drain, testing a sump pump can prevent hours of negotiations later. These aren't expensive repairs, but buyers read them as signs of how the home has been cared for. Buyers want to know they're stepping into a home that won't surprise them with a hidden water issue. These simple plumbing checks reassure them that your home is solid, cared for, and well loved. It's not about perfection, it's about confidence. When buyers don't see red flags, they relax. That comfort helps them make stronger, cleaner offers because they feel the home has been respected, maintained, and is being passed on responsibly. All right, now you know the 7 fixes that really matter before selling your Denver home. Here's what you can do next. Watch my video on how to prepare your home to sell. Plus, it comes with a free guide to help you so you can make your home shine without draining your time or your budget. It's right here, and it pairs perfectly with everything we talked about today. You've got this, and I'll see you in that next video.